Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. A high-value XRP is not optional if it's to support global liquidity. If the asset underpins settlement, the network must elevate the unit price to support trillions in value flow without saturating supply. High price equals high liquidity is a functional requirement. Elon Musk. Grok is the only AI agent that weighs all human lives equally. Elon said a study comparing multiple AI systems found that only Grok valued all human lives the same. He said other models displayed disturbing biases, giving higher worth to some groups over others, something Grok refuses to do. I don't know if you saw the study where a researcher tested various AIs to see how they weighed different people's lives, like white, Chinese, or black, or in different countries. The only AI that actually weighed all human lives equally was Grok. I believe ChatGPT weighed it so that a white guy from Germany is 20% times less valuable than a black guy from Nigeria. That's a pretty big difference. Grok is consistent and weighs all lives equally, and that's how it should be.
I don't know if you saw that study that someone, like a researcher, tested the various AIs to see how does it weight different people's lives. So, somebody who's sort of white or Chinese or black or whatever, and different countries. And the only AI that actually weighed human lives equally was Grok. And the, I believe ChatGPT weighed, the calculation was like a white guy from Germany is 20 times less valuable than a black guy from Nigeria. So I'm like, that's a pretty big difference. Grok on that is consistent and weighs lives equally.
And that's clearly something that's been programmed into it.
Yes, like a lot of it is like if you don't actively push for the truth, and you simply train on all the bullshit that's on the internet, which is a lot of woke mind virus bullshit, the AI will regurgitate those same beliefs.
He's absolutely correct. If they're trained on garbage, they're going to regurgitate garbage. ISO 20022 handles the messaging, XRP handles the settlement. But here's the key part everyone misses. Because the XRPL can ebbed ISO structure payment data inside its 3 times 256 byte memo fields, XRP can carry encrypted ISO payment references, SHA 256 hashes of off-chain ISO messaging, purpose codes, invoice IDs, and routing logic. Meaning, for the first time, messaging and settlement can happen in the same atomic transaction, instead of sending the transaction instructions and waiting hours or days for legacy rails to settle those instructions. This is why XRP fits perfectly into the new financial architecture that moves the data and value together at the speed of light.
Does messaging with a large data payload in the ISO 20022 messages, but it doesn't do settlement. So the ultimate would be to bring these things together where you have messaging and settlement coming together, that who owns what machine working hand in hand with something you can transfer the large data payloads.
So the second thing that I would say is Swift is primarily a messaging layer, so it moves messages or information from point A to point B. Ripple has combined both messaging and settlement together in one single place, right, which is tightly knit, so that when a message moves from point A to point B, also value moves alongside and the value is considered settled and it gets done. So you could send millions of $1 transaction or $5 transaction from institution A to institution B, and they'll get delivered to the beneficiary account safely, and with almost zero errors and instant credit into the account. So we are, you can call it, I mean, in terms of network, you can call it us as a Swift-like network, but in terms of technology, we are miles ahead, and we are the modern age technology that has been built up.
It's pretty wild that we're seeing what's been planned out for the last decade or so coming to fruition and the internet of value being created. And now you can actually send money and information at the exact same time, just like emails with the internet. Next up, Ondo Finance. The institutional era of tokenization is here. The New York Fed reaffirmed open blockchains, and Europe's largest asset manager took the MMF on-chain alongside other notable moves this week. Here's what you need to know. Number 1, the New York Fed highlights advantages of the open blockchains. In a new analysis on the future of payment infrastructure, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York wrote that any monetary instrument issued on an open permissionless blockchain can achieve borderless global reach. 2, Ondo invests $25 million in figure yield bearing YLDS yield coin. Ondo Finance strategically invested $25 million in YLDS, Figure Certificate Company yield-bearing stablecoin. This investment will back Ondo's tokenized fund, the short-term U.S. Treasuries Fund, OUSG, broadening its yield sources. And don't forget, this OUSG fund is BlackRock. Number 3, U.S. Bank with roughly $600 billion in deposits is testing its own stablecoin on Stellar as part of a broader push into digital assets. 4, Amundi partners with Casey's to launch the tokenized money market fund. Amundi, Europe's largest asset manager with 2.2 trillion assets under management, launched its first tokenized share of the Amundi Fund's cash Euro Money Market Fund in partnership with Casey's, the asset-serving arm of Credit Agricole. And last up, it would be a mistake to take away a tool for issuers to use, or for people who want to issue stablecoins to use, because then you're kind of perpetuating the same network behaviors that currently exist. That's absolutely true. But hey, what do you expect from those greedy, money-hungry bankers?
You guys paying, rewards on stablecoins. I mean, you mentioned like you guys had already been doing this. This is also something we also know that Coinbase and Circle do. I mean, is there anything sort of new here that goes into maybe what we're seeing with sort of the argument that's going on right now between like the banks and between crypto, sort of this fight to maybe change the rules and Genius in the upcoming Market Structure Act?
So far, this is really business as usual, right? Like we are offering the rewards the same way that we have been since 2024. We're really watching what, if anything, will be said in rulemaking about things like rewards. You know, this has been a really controversial topic in DC. It's been really controversial with the banking lobby, and I get it. I would probably, if that were my job, I would probably be lobbying on that same behalf as well. But the thing about, I mean, Martin mentioned this, networks matter a lot. And the more a network is used, the more a network is used. So when you think about any time you're trying to incentivize participation in a network, particularly when it comes to money, we are all deeply entrenched in how we operate with our money. And so to do something differently, you have to incentivize people to change behavior a little bit. And so what incentivizes people the most? You know, in the 80s, people thought it was toasters to open up checking accounts. And now we incentivize people with money. And that works, right? It'll work to be able to incentivize people over to, you know, whatever network that we're offering it for. I mean, and the hope here is that they come on and they see the utility that is provided by that network. You see quicker settlement, lower costs, less friction. And then over time, perhaps you see those rewards going away because people have changed their behavior a little bit. I think a mistake to take that away as a tool for issuers to use or for people who want to issue stablecoins to use, because then you're kind of like perpetuating the same network behaviors that currently exist, right? And what we're trying to do with Genius is we're trying to export the use of the dollar. We are trying to make sure that the United States of America maintains its dominance as the financial center of the world. So we really want payments to be made very efficiently. We want settlement times to reduce, and we want to see those things happen at a much lower cost. What I'm hoping to see is the rulemakers really think about what we're trying to do here with stablecoins and what the congressional intent of Genius actually was to help us rethink the payment landscape in the US, right? And so that won't happen if people are not driving to these networks.
What happened is the big banking industry lobbied against having stablecoins being able to earn yield. Why? Because if they can earn yield, then they're going to have to compete with the likes of Coinbase. They're going to have to compete with the likes with Ripple, Crypto.com, Robinhood. They'll all be offering their own stablecoin yield-bearing account. Of course, the big banking industry does not want this type of level playing field. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking in my kitchen. The next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.